Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Glow Up Guide podcast. It's officially a brand new year. We're actually a month into the new year. This episode was supposed to be published a while ago. So we have another 11 months to continue working towards achieving the best possible version of ourselves. I mean, ideally, it's that. Um, so we're not going to let another year just pass us by and do absolutely nothing about it. Nope. This is going to be our year. We are locking in and we're making sure that we achieve everything we have ever wanted and then some. I'm already working towards my own goals by posting this episode. So, yeah. Before moving on, let's talk about some stuff. Life updates. So, nothing much has really happened. It's just been a whole bunch of school, track, homework. I'm drowning in homework. First semester's ended and I made it through with a 4.0 GPA, so I guess that's good. What else have I done? Gosh, my life really is sad. We've been there hasn't been a lot going on for my clubs, but I'm doing fine, I guess. My track season, actually, this coming week is the last week of winter track, which is honestly really sad, but it's also kind of a good thing, I guess, because then I can catch up on other stuff in the 3 weeks I have before spring track tryouts start. So, isn't that so much fun? Anyways, but what else is happening? Yeah, I've just been hanging out with my friends whenever I can. Over winter break, we did some stuff. Well, I mean, the first week of winter break, I was sick. Don't know how that happened. It really sucked. And then the second week of break, I was functioning again, and then I hung out with my friends some. I worked on scholarship essays, did some of that. It was good. So winter break was fine, besides the getting sick. And then for New Year's, didn't really do a whole bunch for New Year's. I went to my friend's New Year's party, and then after that, I went home and we what did we do? I made lasagna because I bought lasagna ingredients the day before, and I was like, why not? Put away to start the new year. So I made lasagna and we made a cake and we cut it. We stayed up till 12, me and my mom and my younger brother. It was really fun. So yeah, no big parties, nothing flashy, but it was still fun. What else has been happening? Yeah, that's pretty much it. Oh, and also, another good thing is this entire past week, we've actually been off school for 10 days because Friday the 22nd, Friday the 23rd, actually, we didn't have school. And then it was the weekend. And then this entire past week has been no school because of the snow, which turned into ice. And it's really, really bad across the county, apparently. So, yeah, you can't even walk outside without borderline slipping on ice because it's so bad. And even the snow plows aren't working. So they can't clear half the roads because the snow plows can't handle the amount of ice. So we've just been snowed in for an entire week. So that's great. But anyways, school reopens tomorrow, unfortunately. We're on a 2-hour delay, so I get to leave my house at 11 a.m. instead of 9. And school actually starts at 11:30, I think. So that's fun. New experiences. Actually no, who am I kidding? We've already had 2-hour delays this year. So that's great. Not excited about that. But anyways, going back to the podcast. So I have been away for quite a while. That's really not explicable. I've just been so busy with life, and I don't think I fully adjusted to high school yet, even though it's the second semester. And I'm really sad and that makes me really sad because I know it's only gonna get worse as the years go on. They're all my friends who are older than me, they're oh my gosh, if you're struggling this bad your freshman year, it's only gonna get worse. I'm yeah, and I'm terrified because my classes get harder and I have to get a job at some point and I have to do a whole bunch of stuff, and then junior year is just junior year. So what a fun life I live. Yeah, but anyways, that's that. But that's where I've been. Not really a great excuse. Nothing big's happened. I've just been so incredibly busy. I actually can't handle it. But it's been a month and a half. Anyways, like I said, this podcast publishing this episode is part of my New Year's resolution. Okay. So that's fun. Anyways, we hit 2,100 plays. I feel like I mentioned the 2,000 milestone. I might not have, but we did hit 2,000. I'm really happy about that. Next, our goal is 3,000 within 3,000 in 3 months. So that would be by May 1st, I guess. May 1st. Yeah, I want to hit 3,000. I doubt that's going to happen, but hey, that's all on you guys. So make sure to keep listening to these episodes. Keep sharing them with everyone you know, because everyone you know hopefully it deserves to better their life, unless you like hate their guts or something. Actually, you know what? Send this to them. Spread some kindness, you know? Anyways, um, so yeah, I guess that's just it for the podcast. I am working on like figuring out what I can do about Instagram, because I know I have a total of 9 posts and I've had that thing for almost a year and a half actually, which is really sad. I don't really post anything on there because I just don't know what to post, and I'm also not that skilled with like photography slash video creation. But I'm working on that. One of my other New Year's resolutions is to get Instagram up and running, and I want to be posting consistently at least like twice a week by the end of the year. So there's that. And yeah, okay. Before moving on, let's do one thing we're grateful for and one thing we're happy about, plus our book of the week. One thing I'm grateful for is having parents who may annoy me a lot, but I have parents who have like never once not been able to provide anything I needed or wanted. Um, sure, they may not be like millionaire rich, but they still have given me everything I could ever want, and I realize that's something that a lot of people actually don't have. So I'm very thankful for that. And then one thing I'm happy about, school being canceled this past week for sure, and then 2 hour delay tomorrow. Even though it's not closed, it's better than like having to wake up at like 7, because I got to do my hair too. Actually, no, normally, because it's a Monday, I'd have to wake up at 6 because I got to go to the elementary school and like do my helping out. So that's great. Anyways, in our book of the week, still don't have one because guess who stopped reading almost a year ago. I think I've read a total of like 4 books maybe that weren't school related. Yeah, I've read a couple books for school, and I'm reading short stories and poems and stuff for school, like English class, but I don't read any books for fun anymore because I just don't have the time. Like, I genuinely just don't have the time. Um, so that's great, just great, you know? That makes me really sad because normally I read 4 books in like what, 2 weeks? 2 weeks if I'm busy, or used my old definition of busy, quote unquote. But now I read like hardly a book every couple of months, and I'm just like I will literally, I started 5 pages of a book before the library said it was overdue and I couldn't renew it anymore, which is like what, 2 months, and that just makes me really sad. Anyways, I'm just like going on and on, but yeah, that's our like introduction. Okay, so let's get into the actual episode. To start, we are all guilty of letting our years go to waste. We are all guilty of seeing that clock hit 12 and the date changing to January 1st and having that sad feeling that a whole 12 months just went by like absolutely nothing, and we did nothing with those months. Time is very valuable, more so than any diamonds or gold or really anything on this earth could be worth. Time is a million times more valuable than that. And then we will go and blame our failure to achieve our goals on one thing or the other, when really it's yourself you should be blaming. Excuses aren't real. Every single excuse for absolutely anything is really just a way of avoiding placing the real blame, like placing blame on the real cause of the problem, which is really yourself. I don't let excuses happen to me. Okay, and I'm not saying this to try and say that I'm better than anyone. I'm just saying that it's about a mentality, right? I have a mentality where I won't let anything drag me down. Like I once remember this conversation with my friend, and I was like, well, excuses aren't really real. Like, you blame something, you blame your inability to achieve something on one thing or the other, but really what you should be blaming is yourself, because you let those things stop you. You let those, obviously, we have unforeseen circumstances sometimes, but I'm saying, like, you can't just like, oh, I was busy. Busy with what? You were probably busy doom scrolling at this point. Like, come on, own up to that. Own up to that. Understand that you messed up and choose to not let that happen again. Anyways, going back to the conversation I was having with my friends, this was probably a few years ago, but for some reason I remember it now. We were talking about something like excuses or whatever, or like laziness. I don't even remember. Um, and I was like, okay, well, if my parents were supposed to pick me up from school, and worst case scenario, they get hit by a car or something, I'm finding a way home. Okay, I'm not just gonna sit there and do nothing. Like, and my friend was like, "That's a really extreme example." I'm like, "Yeah, it might have been a bit of an extreme one for the context, but still, like that's the way I think." Excuses are really just a way of placing blame on anything that isn't yourself to make yourself feel better about the fact that you can't own up to your mistakes. Okay, we all screw up. That is perfectly fine. Human nature is messing up and learning from that. But if you don't learn from that and you just keep making the same mistakes, you just keep repeating this and letting the years go by and not doing anything, not achieving your resolutions, quitting after like what, 3 days, you're not going to get anywhere. You're not going to get anywhere. And you really can't be mad at yourself about that because you chose. It was you that chose to do that to yourself. Okay? Like, be the kind of person that doesn't let excuses happen to you. And even if they do, own up to that. Own up to the fact that you were unable to do this or do that. Okay? Don't just blame it on something random. Don't just blame it on another person because it is all on you. Just keep that in mind. Okay? Like, another example, less extreme too. I know people with D's in my geometry class because our teacher absolutely sucks. I have an A because I won't let a bad teacher be an excuse to preventing my success. Also, the class is actually really easy. I made Google AI explain it to me like the day before the test, and I get it like 95s. So, yeah. Some people won't even do that. Yeah, I just won't let a bad teacher be an excuse preventing my success. Like, for example, another example actually, next year, I'm taking Algebra 2 Trig, which is the one class I've been told to never take because the teacher is absolutely terrible and the class is ridiculously hard. But guess who's taking it anyways? Because I'm fine. I've dealt with bad teachers before, and I'm also good at math. Well, I mean, I'm not that good at math, but like I'm decent at it. Actually, no, I would say I'm pretty good at math. I don't know, whatever. But I'm taking it because I won't let a bad teacher be an excuse preventing my success. Some people just say they don't have time to work out. I don't let a busy life be an excuse. I find time anyways. Also, part of the reason I'm busy is because I'm running for track, but still, even when track isn't there, I find the time. Just make the time. Some say they're just too tired. Well, then, too damn bad. Being tired isn't going to slow down time so you can get back on track. I'm not saying any of this to say I'm better than you guys. I'm really not. This is all coming from my own experiences. So don't be there watching the New Year countdown or something, or like doing fireworks and all that, putting a fake smile on, but really deep down inside, you're regretting the fact that another whole valuable year passed by and you did absolutely nothing. Don't do that because I have been there and it sucks more than anything. You try to do things, but nothing changes. You remain stuck in old habits and routines that no longer serve you. And if you don't do something soon enough, you will no longer trust yourself to do the things that you tell yourself to do. When you keep breaking the promises you make to someone else, eventually they stop trusting you. It works the exact way when you make promises to yourself. Keep breaking them and you'll lose that trust. Failure is no longer an option. Remember that. Another thing to remember is that everything really starts as a choice, like I was saying. The greatest scientists and entrepreneurs and business owners, CEOs, whoever, these successful people, greatly successful people actually, didn't get where they are by staying stuck in their old habits and mindsets and such. They achieved such great success by changing their ways and putting in the work and following through. They didn't just say they were going to do it. They actually put in the work to make it happen. They kept their promises to themselves. They pushed through those obstacles. They didn't give up when it got hard. They only pushed themselves even harder. And where did that all start? It started with a choice. All these great people were presented with the choice to stay stuck and small or to act and do something and grow big and bright. Everything starts as a choice. There's a choice of whether you want to start eating healthier or eat junk food. Only one is going to help you grow. There's a choice as to whether you do your essay or scroll. Only one's going to help you grow. There's a choice in whether you wake up with your alarm and keep that promise to yourself or just hit snooze 5 times and oversleep. Only one is going to help you grow. It is really all about making the right choice. And it sounds so easy when I say it, but honestly it isn't. Like in practice it's really, really hard. But you want to know the reason these people were so great? They rose above that. They rose above that difficulty and they pushed themselves so hard that it wasn't hard anymore. It just didn't become hard for them. It's like their new normal. Waking up at 5 a.m., that started with the choice. Sure, it was hard at first, but eventually it became their new normal. And now they're just like, oh yeah, I wake up at 5 a.m. It's not even that hard. Like, you want to be like that, don't you? Exactly. It's all about, like, how you push yourself. It's all about your mindset. It's all about a choice. And it's not just about making the right choice once, too. It's about doing so over and over and over again, countless times until you are freed from your old ways. And that is where 99.9% of people quit. They do it once or twice and decide it's too hard and give up. That's not what we're doing this year. Be part of that 0.1% who rise above all these challenges and do it. Be great. I like the idea of having a theme word for this year. And you might have already guessed it, but the theme word for this year is discipline. That's the word that's going to embody our year and be the theme of our year. Obviously, you can pick a different word, but I want discipline to be mine. Discipline is how you're going to become the person of our dreams. Discipline is going to be what you see in the mirror when you look at yourself. You're going to see someone with a body created from discipline, skin created from discipline, a glow that can only be created by such good discipline that it shines. Has to shine. Discipline is so much more than just a word, though. It is showing up for yourself when it's the hardest thing you can possibly do. It's hitting the hard parts of getting what you want, and instead of giving up, you push even harder. Discipline is going after what you want like there's no tomorrow. Discipline is not being afraid of growth and even chasing it. Discipline is confidence in yourself, having faith in yourself to achieve your goals and become the person of your dreams. Become who you have always been destined to be. This is going to be our year of discipline. Sitting around in pajamas isn't going to get you where you want to be. That's not discipline, unless you want to become a couch potato this year, but I guarantee you that's not what a lot of people want to do. Discipline is getting out of bed every day with your alarm and chasing your dreams day by day, step by step, minute by minute. It's putting in the work no matter what. It is stopping at absolutely nothing to get what you want. For example, I want to go to a really good university out of state, ideally. That has been my dream since I think I was 8, and I'm already putting in the work to make it happen. I work so hard, and I'm proud of that, okay? Determination is one of my things. Like, I'm very proud of that. I'm very proud of myself for doing all that. I maintain a 4.0 unweighted GPA, 4.2 weighted while taking 3 honors classes. I spend hours every day in schoolwork. I'm in clubs, I do sports, I volunteer, I tutor. I have a podcast, and I'm already applying to scholarships, something that the juniors and seniors typically do. I'm putting in the work to make it happen because I'm not going to let anything or anybody or any circumstance get in my way. I'm currently fighting against all odds, okay? Everyone, first of all, every single person I know, no matter how genuine a friend they are, they all think I'm insane. Like, absolutely insane for wanting to go out of state. Like, I want to go to my top school, I think is like UC Berkeley or Columbia. It's between Columbia University. It's between those two. And one of those is an Ivy, first of all. But also, Columbia University's acceptance rate is hardly 5%. It's an Ivy League too, which means it's insanely competitive. And UC Berkeley is a public university, which means it's incredibly difficult to get in out of state. And also, it's an extremely respected school. There's an 8% out of state acceptance rate. So I have like almost no shot at getting in, but guess who's gonna? But when I want something, I will move heaven and earth to make it happen. Okay? Like, that's real discipline. And having the discipline is hard. Something I really want you all to remember as you are chasing your goals and dreams for this year and doing what you want and achieving the life of your dreams is that everything you could ever want is already yours. You just have to find it. That dream version of yourself you have always wanted to be is already buried deep down within you, waiting to be pulled out to see light. You don't have to go through a complete reset and rediscovery type of thing this year. It's about locking in and making our current selves a whole lot better. You just have to focus on improvement, improving yourself, and eventually that dream version of yourself will come out. She will be you. You just have to keep pushing and keep believing in yourself and not giving up until you are who you really and truly want to be and you are where you want to be. A year is a long time and a lot happens in a year. It's up to you to make those things good things or bad things. It's up to you to choose growth or negativity or staying stuck. Everything you could ever want and more is already yours. You just have to go out there and find it. Make it truly yours. When you think about the sheer magnitude of some of your goals, it might seem overwhelming. It might seem nearly impossible or something you can never achieve in 100 years, let alone 1 year. It might feel like that. Actually, scratch that. It will most likely feel like that. But what you need to do is break things down and figure out how you are going to go out there and get what you want. Next up on our 2026 New Year's lock-in type thing is to never settle. Don't say, oh, well, it's good enough. Don't settle for less than what you deserve or less than what you are capable of, because doing so will only hold you back from achieving your true potential. Do not hold back. Do not do less than what you know you are capable of doing. Never, ever settle for less. And you might think you deserve less, but you don't. You only deserve the absolute best for yourself. Sure, maybe the easier option to settle for something less than what you already want. But who said that getting what you want would be easy? It doesn't matter with what. Show up for yourself in who you keep as your friends, the promises you keep to yourself, the relationships you choose to invest in, the crappy half-hearted apologies you receive, things like that. Don't settle, ever. Saying no to the things you know you don't deserve your precious time and energy will free up that time and energy for the things that do actually matter to you. If something comes your way that is less than what you really deserve and you kind of feel like you should accept it, but deep down, you know that you deserve way better, then reject it. Something better is coming your way, and that was just a sign. You just have to trust that it will come. It will come when it will come. You're never going to get where you want to be if you keep settling for less than what you know you deserve, because that's another thing that keeps you stuck. Settling for less doesn't allow you to grow. And rejecting these things, it might be scary. Saying no to the people who don't actually care about you might be scary because you might be alone. But eventually you'll find your people again. You'll find your footing again. You'll find the people who actually care about you and the people that are actually worth your time and energy, the opportunities that were worth your time and energy. And yes, it might take time. It might take a very long time, but you'll do it. No doubt about that. Never settle for less. Next, keep your promises to yourself. One is a big one. We say we're going to do all these things and then we just don't ever get around to doing them. We make excuses and say, I'll do it later, or I'll do it tomorrow, or I'll skip this workout and do it tomorrow. We make up some random excuse as to why we couldn't keep our damn promises to ourselves. And we just go on with our lives like it's not a big deal. That's not how it should be. It is a big deal. If you promised something out, someone else, you would get something done. You would do it. You would do it for sure. Otherwise, you're just a bad person. But when it comes to telling yourself you're going to do something, it gets procrastinated. How interesting. If you keep your promises that are made to other people, why do you decide it suddenly doesn't matter when it comes to the promises you make to yourself? The relationship you have with yourself is the most important relationship you will ever have in your entire life. So obviously you want it to be a good, healthy relationship. And any sort of good, healthy relationship, whether it's with yourself or someone else, is built on a strong foundation of trust. So when you just keep breaking those promises you make yourself, eventually the one thing that will really shatter the relationship you have with yourself will happen. You slowly lose trust in yourself to do things and make them happen. That will absolutely destroy you. So don't lose the trust you have in yourself, especially if it's already very limited and on thin ice. Set one mini goal for yourself right now. Promise yourself that you will do something such as wake up on time or put away laundry at 8 p.m. or something like that. Then actually do it. Don't make a random excuse and avoid it. Don't forget about it. Make sure it gets done. This is actually a really great exercise to slowly rebuild trust in yourself. Promise yourself that you will do one tiny thing each day, no matter how small. Literally, the one thing right now can be to tidy up the desk you're sitting at or to put away the pencils. I don't care. No matter how small of a task it is, if you make sure that it gets done and you actually do it, you will slowly rebuild that trust in yourself. Make that one of your big goals for the upcoming year to strengthen the trust you have in yourself, because that will really set you up for success. Okay, so this episode was supposed to be kind of random and scattered, but I guess the next phase of this episode is talking about goals, like goal setting, goal planning, goal achieving, all that good stuff. First up is goal setting. Let's talk about that. The first phase of this New Year's goal setting bit is to think about and visualizing your new goals for the upcoming year. There's a whole new year ahead of us and an insane amount of things that can be done in a year. It's a long time, but also no time at all, depending on how you use it this year. It's really all about how you use your time. Anyways, it's time to move on from the reflecting / clearing out the old year stage into it's time to get ourselves ready for the new year stage. So obviously the first step is figuring out exactly what you want out of this upcoming year. Do you want to hone in on a business you started or some side hustle? Do you want to make more money or become more financially stable, increase financial literacy? I know that's actually a common goal for a lot of people considering the economy. Financial stuff. Investing is a good one. Like if you want to start investing, that's a great goal. Do you want to take charge of your health? Do you want to become more organized? Do you want to improve your time management? There are lots of different things that we all want to achieve because we're very different people. For me, off the top of my head, I want to bring all my running times down by at least a minute. Every single one of my times, actually this is on old episodes, so yeah, every single one of my times are off by an entire minute, or they used to be. I started out my track season with running a 450 something 1K when it should be at about 350, and I ran a 750-ish mile when it should be about 650 or 7-ish, that range. Now actually my mile time is 7:20, which means I PR'd, and I'm very happy about that. And my 1K time is a 4:25, so I can confidently say I no longer suck at track, because I don't. These times are actually very decent and respectable starting points. And a bunch of the juniors and seniors were talking to us. They were like, "Yeah, you guys are doing significantly better than we were when we were your age, when we were in our freshman year." I'm like, "Oh, okay, that's good then. I'm good for us." So, yeah. Anyways, but my 5K time is different though. Ideally, I want it to go all the way to 25 minutes. A bit of a hard goal, but once I get there, I'll actually be able to say I'm good at cross country. I think it's actually very doable for me if I train and don't skip workouts and just put the work in. I want to start eating enough food because I don't even eat healthy food, let alone enough food. So I think eating a bit more is a good start. I want to gain back the 6 pounds I have lost in the last half of the past year with cross country and now track. And speaking of gaining weight, I want to be able to lift around 15 pounds by the end of the year. Might seem like a bit of a reach, but if I start strength training twice a week like I'm supposed to instead of once every 2 to 3 weeks, it's very doable. Anyways, those are just a few of mine, but I'm positive you all have your own goals you want to achieve for yourself in the new year. The point here is to give yourself a very rough idea of what you would like to accomplish in the upcoming year, like a framework that we are going to slowly hone in on and make more of a plan instead of a rough framework. All right. Now that we have our very rough framework of what we'd like to ideally achieve in the upcoming year, it's time to hone in on that plan and create an actual, tangible, actionable plan for how we are going to achieve all those things. There's a lot of work that goes into creating good plans to achieve your goals. First of all, start by defining your why. What is your reason or intention for setting these goals? What are the benefits of setting these goals? What are the benefits of achieving them? For me, I want to cut all my times and like bring my 5K time down. Um, and I want to do all that because I want to show the exact people who said I suck at this sport, including myself, that I can do it, that I can run, and I'm very capable of being good at it. I want to eat healthier for track because I know it will only help, and I want to gain back the weight I lost. So my mom quits harassing me, and I know gaining the muscle back will help make me a better runner. I want to be able to lift heavier because I want to build that muscle back. All my goals kind of connect to each other, actually. There's a lot of health and fitness goals in here. I guess that's just me. Anyways, I have my reasons and intentions or benefits for setting all these goals. Now, you need to think about yours too. If you don't have a real and true motivation for setting a goal, you have nothing to lean on when it gets tough, nothing to remind you why you did this and why you shouldn't quit. So, think about your why. Next thing is SMART goals. I've talked about these enough times on this podcast that you should all know what they are by now. But basically, in short, it's a goal setting acronym thing that stands for goals that are specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. This goal setting framework is actually really helpful in making sure you set your goals right and have some sort of a better idea of what you're trying to accomplish. Let's say you wanted to wake up earlier. That's not really a great goal right now. Following the SMART goals thing, let's make it specific. You could say I want to wake up at 6 a.m. every morning. Measurable. Track your progress using a sleep time app thing, or make little notes or use like sticky notes. Achievable. Let's just say you're naturally a night owl. You're born that way and you're built to function that way. It is nearly impossible to go from going to bed at 6 a.m. to waking up at 6 a.m. if you're like that. So think about that. Time bound, obviously, in the context of this episode, everything we want to achieve is supposed to be achieved by the end of the year. So this is actually a really great goal setting framework, and it will really help you figure out an actual plan and make a better goal in general out of what you want to achieve. So third thing is to focus on breaking big things down into smaller, more manageable things. It is very easy to get overwhelmed when setting goals. The key is to stay on track to make sure you don't actually get overwhelmed and like freak out and just give up before you even started trying. So break the bigger things down in smaller ones. Like I said with waking up earlier, I've heard of this thing where if you wake up just a minute earlier each day, just 1 minute, it sounds so ridiculously easy because the efforts just keep compounding. After a month, you're waking up half an hour earlier. After 2, it's an hour. After 4, it's 2 hours. Big differences in the short period of time. It's really all about the small efforts. The goal here is to create a much more broken down and actionable plan for achieving your goals. Let's talk about vision boards. This is an incredibly fun way to keep yourself on track towards achieving your goals. I love creating vision boards. It's so much fun and it's so motivating too. And it's not as much work as it sounds either. Just set aside a little while and go on Pinterest deep dive and find some cute photos that match the goals you want to achieve this year. If you want to work out more, find a photo of some workout equipment or running shoes. If you want good grades, find photos for that. Just find photos that align with your goals and look cute. They can be from your own photos too if you want to do that. You can just save all these things to your photos or like files or something. Then you have two options. The first one is going the physical vision board route. My personal favorite. It's so much fun to cut all the photos out and paste them onto a board. You can get one of those cork boards and some thumbtacks and also just tack them onto the board. It just needs to be cute and like fun. Print photos out and then you stick them onto the board in a fun, cutesy, like visually appealing way. You can play some music too, make a whole experience out of it. Romanticize your life. I think that vision boards are really helpful for staying motivated and visualizing your goals. Moving on. The second option is to do digital vision board. I love Canva for this. Even the free version works great. Just copy and paste the photos onto Canva, make it look cute and fun, and you're good to go. You can also make this your phone background or your laptop wallpaper. The goal is just to put the vision board where you will see it. And I guess for a lot of people, it might be the digital one that works the best, but just do what works for you. I also want to talk about how you can actually stay motivated towards achieving your goals this year. Now that we actually have our goals and, plans to achieve them, we've done the visualizing, we've done all that good stuff. We need to figure out how we're actually going to make these things happen and how we're actually going to stick with it and, not quit by like January 3rd. Well, actually, it's long past January 3rd, but you get what I mean. We are going to get things done by the end of the year so that we are super happy with ourselves and proud of what we have done instead of sad and regretful by the time 2027 rolls around. The first big tip in making sure you actually achieve your goals is obviously don't make things harder than they need to be. Don't get yourself overwhelmed. I have said this earlier, but this is really freaking important to making sure that you are not overwhelming yourself, because the second you get overwhelmed, you are very, very likely to give up and quit on your goals. The best way to avoid getting super overwhelmed is to make sure you break things down into smaller, more manageable chunks of tasks or work. By breaking things down, you'll automatically make everything way easier for yourself to do. When you think about a big goal as just that, like the big overarching goal, it's very easy to get overwhelmed and think it's too hard and then think you can't do it. And then you just give up. But when you break things down and take it one step at a time, that's the key to real lasting success that just keeps compounding. The next tip to stay on track this upcoming year is scheduling. A lot of these goals require time. They don't just happen. They don't just go poof and magic happens. You need time. And a lot of us are also very busy people. I know that I am. I barely have time to eat most days because of how much homework or just work in general I have to do each day. Anyways, taking time and scheduling time in your calendar dedicated to your goals makes all the difference. If you want to work out more often, make sure to put it in your calendar. Put in an event that says workout time. Time doesn't just magically fall out of the sky. You have to make it happen. Make the damn time to do the things that really matter to you, because if they really and truly do matter to you, you will be making the time for them. But seeing this time in your calendar blocked out specifically for this goal will make you a lot more inclined to do it, because you're like, oh well, this is what I'm supposed to be doing right now at this time. I don't know. If seeing things on your calendar works for you, then go for it. Third tip is having an accountability partner and like an accountability group. This one seems to work really well for a lot of people, as shown in numerous scientific studies. Just have someone to keep you accountable on your goals, whether that be a family member, a friend, or really anyone you know and trust. There's also like online groups that can connect you with accountability partners and such, just like-minded people that can help you stay on track to achieve your goals. This works really well for people who work better with external accountability instead of relying on themselves to stay on track, which is exactly like me. Sometimes you just need someone to remind you and keep you motivated. It also really helps when you and your accountability partner are working on the same goal, because you can compare progress, obviously in a beneficial way, and you can like share tips and what you're doing, what's working, what's not, all that good stuff. Okay, so next one. This one's kind of obvious, but we always need to be reminded, and that is to not procrastinate. If you're trying to do a workout, don't just say you're going to do it later, because you're just going to keep saying that the entire day, and before you know it, it's 11 p.m. and the entire day is gone, and you're like, oh crap, I never did my workout. So just don't procrastinate. Do things now because before it's too late to do them. Procrastination seriously gets us absolutely nowhere and always ends up backfiring. If you have to do something one day for a goal, then just do it ASAP and be done with it. That way it won't be hanging in the back of your mind for the rest of the day and you won't feel guilty if you forgot about it. All that nonsense is avoided. Case in point, it's always better to do things now rather than later. Okay, I have no idea what number we're on, but the next step is to not take on more than you can handle. I guess it kind of connects to not getting overwhelmed. It's still very important though. If you take on more than you know you were capable of managing, then you are inevitably going to get overwhelmed and like freak out and just quit. I know at the beginning of the year we all feel super motivated and we're like, oh yeah, I can do anything right now. And don't get me wrong, that's good. But motivation, i.e., this, is very fickle. And if you take on too much, you're gonna decide that you don't want to do this anymore very quickly, and you will give up very, very quickly. Don't do that, because when you give up, you will also inevitably feel guilty and like really bad. And I know we're all better than that. Instead of trying to do a million bajillion things this year, prioritize and really hone in on the things that are truly the most important to you. That is a way to set yourself up for success. Final thing I wanted to say for this episode is kind of a reminder I want you guys to carry with you. You are really the only thing stopping you from being great. And I know I was talking about this earlier, but this is really something I want to stick with you guys. Whether that's through excuses, fear, or procrastination, you are the only thing stopping yourself, and that really sucks. The first thing you're going to have to do to resolve to do before anything else is to overcome the barriers, or the barrier of yourself. So this is your reminder that yes, you can actually do what you want and create the person and create the life of your dreams if you choose to do so. You can also choose to just let another year pass by and not do anything about it. But this is your sign to lock the flip in, and lock in so hard you almost don't recognize who you see in the mirror by the end of this year. Make yourself so proud that you glow. Okay, so that was all I had to say for this episode. I know it was very scattered, but it was very fun, and I'm hoping this helps you guys in at least one way or the other. To end off our episode today, I have a quote for you guys from an unknown author, and it goes, The first step in getting somewhere is to decide you're not going to stay where you are. Bye, guys. Rate, review, follow, and share this podcast. Please, please, please go follow me on Instagram at the Glow Up Guide Podcast. Drink some water, and I love you all.